Good morning to everyone. This is Sultan, Assistant Professor, Department of Aerospace Engineering, Sanjay Godavat University. So, in this lecture, we are going to see about the different types of displays. So, what are the displays we are used in the previous aircraft and now advanced aircraft? What are the displays we are using? So, the displays which are used previously, that is called CRT displays. That means cathode ray tube displays. The CRT displays screen which produce images in the form of video signal. So the displays will be as a forming that the signals which one they are receiving, it should be converted into video format. It is a type of vacuum tube which displays images when the electron beam throws the electron guns or strikes on the phosphorescent surface. So when the electron beam through electron guns that strike on the phosphorescent surface, that signal the displays will be generated over there. In other words, the CRT generates beams, accelerates it then high velocity and deflect into creating the images on the phosphorus screen so that the beam becomes visible. So if you have seen that the image, you will be easily understand that first one is that the pins that should be given that our power source. So next is that the heater. In that heater, cathode and second stage is the grid that should be called as a electron gun up to from this cathode, grid, focusing anode, accelerating anode, this will be called as the electron gun. That is the pre-accelerating that the anode. After that, vertical deflection plate. That what are the anodes we are generating that should be accelerated with a high speed and passing through that beams. Uh, that beam should be traveled through the horizontal deflection plate and strike out the phosphorus screen, and then display will be generated over there. So, working principle. The working of the CRT depends on the movement of electron beams. So, the electron guns generate sharply focused electrons which are accelerated at high voltage. This high velocity electron beam, when strikes on the fluorescent screen, creates luminous spots. After exiting from the electron gun, that should be travel with the pairs of electrostatic deflection plates. These plates deflect the beams when the voltage applied across it. So the one pair of plate moves the beam upward and the second pair of the plate moves the beam from one side to another side. So the horizontal and vertical movement of the electron are independent of each other. That deflection plates only separate the electrons, which is a horizontal and vertical. The and hence the electron beam positioned anywhere on the screen. The working parts of the CRT are enclosed in vacuum glass envelope so that the emitted electron can be displayed from one end to the tube to the other end. Construction of CRT. So the electron gun assembly, deflection plate assembly, fluorescent screen, glass envelope, and base are the important parts of the CRT. The electron gun emits the electron and through the deflecting plates, it is strike on the phosphorus screen. This is the simple principle which are used for the CRT displays. Electron gun assembly. So how that the electron gun assembly, that is important to generate the electrons. The electron gun is the source of the electron beams. The electron gun has a heater, cathode, and a grid, pre-accelerating anode, focusing anode, and accelerating anode. These are the different stages. The electrons are emitted from the highly emitted cathode. The cathode is cylindrically in shape and at the end of it, the layer of that strontium and barium oxide, it is deposited with emit the high emission of the electrons at the end of the tube. The electron passes through that electrons in the small grid source. The control grid is made up of nickel material, which is centrally located hole, which is coaxial with the CRT axis. The electron which is emitted from the electron gun and passes through the control grid have high positive potential, which is applied across the pre-accelerating and accelerating anode. The beam is focused by the focusing anode. The pre-accelerating and accelerating anode are connected to the positive high voltage of above 1500 volt, and the focusing anode are connected to the lower voltage of about 500 volt. There are two methods of focusing the electron beam. They are electrostatic focusing beam, electromagnetic focusing beam. Electrostatic deflection plates. The deflection plate produces the uniform electrostatic field only in one direction. The electron beam entering into the deflection plates will accelerate only in the one direction. Hence, the electron will not move in the other directions. Screen for CRT. So, screen is a flat plate, that is a glass plate. So, in front of the CRT is called as a flat plate. The flat plate of CRT is made up of entirely fiber optics, which has special characteristics. The internal surface of the flat face plate is coated with the phosphorus. The phosphorus converts the electrical energy into light energy. The energy level of the phosphorus crystal rises when the electron beams strike on it. The phenomenon is called as cathode luminescence. The light which is emitted through phosphorus excitation is called fluorescence. When the electron beam stops the phosphorus, crystal regain their original position and release a quantum of light energy which is called phosphorus or persistence energy.